All right, we are live. This is actually let me go live on Amazon here real quick. This is actually something I am doing for a video I am shooting tomorrow. And I wanted to kind of get ahead of the workload a little bit. So that is what we're doing here. And what I've decided to do is a video on, oh, there it is, sorry, 2600. A video on some of my favorite Star Wars games throughout my life. And there are a few, but not like a lot. So what I was going to do was just kind of run through those, and I want to capture some footage of those games. So that's what we're doing today. And that is it. And I got to move quickly because I've got to go catch up with the family in a little bit. But I will say hello to some people. Dava is here. Romeric is here. Tom K is here. Martin Paolini is here. Elaine is here. Or Alan. Frank Mula is here. Is this a trend? I didn't even realize that. Maybe that's what got the thought in my head. Nick Forsopa is here as well. So we're going to start with probably my all-time favorite game. Interestingly, I learned, and you'll learn this in the video that I'm doing, this game was the very first Star Wars game ever. Isn't that crazy? Like, this is the first one. This is The Empire Strikes Back. I'm just going to turn the sound down a little bit here. I don't know how to start the... There we go. Oh, that's loud. Hang on. I got to remap the controls a little bit here, but I'll give you a view of it here. So I should probably start recording this too, so give me a second here. So I'll hit record. I'm going to turn my sound off just so I can get some good sound for B-roll. So you'll hear the game, but not me. So I got to get this now to the point where I want to get the little force thing to enable. So that's my next mission here. So let's get that going. Hopefully it'll happen sooner rather than later. So what happens is you get the force, you're invincible for a short period of time, and it plays the little Jedi Star Wars song. So let's see if we can get that going. Oh, hit again. But this was like, I still like this game. It's kind of funny, and you retain the muscle memory, too, you know? And I forgot what triggers the force. Oh, there we go again. So we got to keep playing until we trigger the force so I can capture that for the B-roll. Maybe somebody can tell me. Yeah, normally I would take the Mister out for this, but we have a couple of games that I want to capture that are not able to run on the Mister. So that is why we are using RetroArch on the laptop here. Plus, it's more convenient because I can just plug it in to the video system, and everything that we need to run today is going to run from this. Ooh. Yeah, I'm not getting the force here going at all. There we go. Okay. Mission accomplished on that one. That took a little while to get to that point. Hang on a second. Let me just grab my footage here, make a new folder. And we're going to grab those two clips that we just shot and drag those into there. And we've got Empire 1 and 2. Okay, so now we got that. I'm just going to change my recording folder directory, and we can go to the next game. All right. Good. Okay. Now, let's take some comments here while we're going. I got Joe here from Miami. Tom K, yes, I am a Dark Forces fan. That will be on the list today. So we will be looking at Dark Forces in a little bit. And yeah, we won't have any of the SNES games. So what I thought I would do for my video is talk about the games that I played and liked. And that's the distinction. I played a lot more than what I liked. So we're gonna look at my favorites. And partly I want to get some recommendations for people because I missed like a whole generation of viewers or of games because of the prequels and everything else. What's interesting is that yeah, music plays and suddenly demonetized. Yeah, we're not going to have the music on for one of the GameCube games for sure, because I used all of the music from the movies. But what's interesting about, so I answer what this question is. What's this footage for? So I am shooting a video. I thought I would do a video on my favorite Star Wars games. And just kind of, I was going through there's a website, and I'll talk about this on the wrap-up tomorrow. There's a website that has an actual chronology of the release date of every Star Wars game. Believe it or not, I didn't realize this. This game, which is The Empire Strikes Back on the 2600, this game was the first Star Wars game ever released for anything. This was even before the Star Wars arcade game, believe it or not. That's how like old this is. This is 82. And it came out like about 2 years after Empire Strikes Back. Now, here's the other one we're going to look at. We're going to take a look. I probably hit the wrong button there, didn't I? We are going to go into the game that came out right after this one. These were both made by Parker Brothers. So let's load the Stella Core again. And this next one is Return of the Jedi Death Star Battle. And we're going to do what we did just a minute ago. We're going to just kill my sound and record the actual gameplay, and I'll come back. So basically what the premise here is that this line here is the shield. This is like the, I'm not sure what this is. This is like the detection thing for getting to the Death Star. So basically you have to wait for the shield to go down, fly through a hole, and then blow the Death Star up while it's shooting at you. And then these TIE fighters are floating around there also. That's kind of the basic premise of it. So that's what this is. So I'm going to turn my audio off for a minute, and we're going to play through this one real quick. And this one I did not like as much as the other game, but put yourself in my shoes. It's 1983. The Return of the Jedi just came out, and this is the video game. So you're going to play it, and you're going to like it, because that's the only game you got. All right, I'm going to mute real quick. Okay, we got it. That's round one. And I do want to do this again because we got to get to the... so on the first level, they go easy on you, and then that thing will activate. So what's going to happen now is this is going to activate. Wait a minute here. There it goes. And that's it. That's the game. But that's what games were like back then. There wasn't much to it. Like the Empire Strikes Back game we just looked at, that game never ended. Like just the same thing. It just kept coming. It just never stopped. Those things would just keep coming at you there. All right, so we're going to do Return of the Jedi 1 and 2 here. All right. So, yes, I did not have as fond a memory of this one, but it's one of my favorites just because it's, it's something that I played as a kid, and there wasn't a lot of choice here for Star Wars games. Oh, I didn't see that. It's starting to do that. I didn't really. So if you take too long, it'll start shooting at you from that far away. I didn't realize it did that. That's new to me. All right, so let's make that setting there. All right. So now, I did not have this next game we're going to look at, but I'm going to pull it up anyhow because I just want to do a comparative. So this is the port of Star Wars the arcade game to the 2600. And no doubt we will get hit with the copyright people, right? So they did their best with this one. Not the best, but it was fun. All right, so now let me show you the other one that I did remember playing quite a bit. And we have to go switch over to the MAME core for this one. And we're gonna load content, downloads, arcade. All right, so we're gonna check this one out. Now this one, of course, it's a little dim here. I probably have to adjust some settings on the emulator. All right.
Let's try standing by.
You know, I'm going to start this again because I want to get that voice.
Switch 5, I'm going in. Use the false loop. Luke, trust me. Yahoo! You're all clear, kid!
Forgot to record that whole session. You gotta start again.
I'm hit but not bad. R2, see what you can do with it.
Always.
We're going to start over, and the reason is that I wanted to do the easy level I forgot actually negates the whole tower scene, and that'll be kind of important when we talk about some other stuff later on. So we're going to go back to here. Okay, let's try this again.
The force will be with you.
Let's try standing by.
I'm on the leader.
I'm hit but not bad. R2, see what you can do with it. I can't shake him! Switch 5, I'm going in. R2 trying to increase the power. I lost R2.
Remember, the force will be with you. Always.
We're going to do one more. And what we're going to do here is we are going to do the easy level so I can get a shot of that Death Star exploding again, and then we'll move on. This is the actual arcade game. So this is the one that I played in the arcade as a kid. And this was like just mind-blowingly good if you were this kid back in the 80s watching this. The emulator, for whatever reason, is a little dim, although the gameplay looks fine, doesn't it? Oops. I just can't get the darn game to start again.
force will be with you.
There we go.
Let's try standing by. Red 5, I'm going in.
Use the force, Luke. Luke, trust me.
Yahoo! You're all clear, kid!
Luke, trust me.
I'm hit, but not bad. R2, see what you can do with it. Yahoo! You're all clear, kid!
Oh, here we go. I'm back. Okay, so let me say hello to some, wow, we got a lot of people popping in here. I missed a bunch of comments already. So let me go to page 2. And Mark Dell is here. Chris Allegretta is here. All the moderators are in this morning, so thank you all for coming in. Super chat from Eric's Variety Channel. Thank you very much for your contribution there. Much appreciated as always. And who else we got? Boy, we got lots of people. Okay, so this is running with RetroArch, in case anyone's wondering. And you can grab that at RetroArch. Just Google RetroArch, and that's what we're using there. Frank Mula had a game night with the nephews, and they can't beat their uncle. That's right, once you get it in there. So it's good stuff. My favorite Trek games. I have a bunch of Star Trek games. Maybe we'll do a stream on that at a later time. There's some that I haven't played that I really want to also. Eric says this is an era of games that he totally missed. Yeah, I had the Atari, and that was like the extent of these games. And we're going to have more on this. Definitely hit the likes. We're going to have more on this for the wrap-up video tomorrow. That's what I'm shooting this B-roll for that. CF had an old Amiga. Sally says, for the time period, the voice actors sounded amazing. Yeah, they were, that arcade cabinet, and I'll talk about this tomorrow. This was on the Amazon chat. When I went to the arcade, so we were visiting my grandparents in Florida. We go down every year at Christmas. And we went to this huge arcade in Fort Lauderdale. It looked like a castle. It was enormous. I mean, it was like quintessential 80s teen hangout. It was awesome. I was only like 5 or 6, and maybe 7 or 8, I don't know. I was a kid. And we went in, and they had multiples of every arcade game. They had like 5 of these Star Wars cabinets right next to each other. And that was the first time I played it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Zam never liked Star Wars until The Mandalorian. That's interesting. I think Mandalorian has helped a lot of people like it again at the same time. Chris Allegretta says, I love the digitized voice. Reminds me of Paperboy. Yeah, it's similar. Actually, Atari made both games, and I bet you they used the same technology. That's right, they had a sit-down version. You can buy that now from not Limited Run, the people that do the arcade 1-Up. They've got a cabinet set up. Now, there was a real desert of Star Wars games between the 80s and the 90s. So I'm just looking through my list here. Now, these are games that I played, not necessarily games that were not released. But the next one we're going to now, chronologically, is X-Wing. So the last Star Wars game that I played heavily were those Atari games. And then we had to wait 10 years to get another good one. Unless I'm missing something. Maybe you all can fill me in on one I missed. But that is my recollection. So I'm going to pull up Steam here. And all of these games you can still buy today that we're about to play. So some of these you can't, like the two Atari games. Because those the 2600 Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi were Parker Brothers games. I don't know if they've ever been republished, because they were pretty good. The Empire Strikes Back one I liked a little better. All right, so the next one we're going to do is Rebel Assault. We got to be careful with the audio on this one. So I'm going to turn the audio off for now. Actually, no, is it Rebel Assault? It's X-Wing, so X-Wing is next. So we're going to load up X-Wing. Now this is the special edition version. Oh, I can do classic, perfect. So we're going to do the classic edition. Now apparently there is a modification out now for this, but I couldn't get it to work. So we're going to run it like it was back in the day. I don't think they didn't use digitized audio. It might be okay. So let's see if we can jump past this here. Got to center my joystick and push a button. Top left and push a button. Bottom right and push a button.
Welcome to the flagship Independence.
Oh, you know what? I must have synced up I was top ace before. Or maybe I downloaded some cheat thing. That might have been what it is. Okay, so it must have synced up from the last time I played this.
Boarding gate 2.
Now I had a Roland card, so I think I remember my game sounding better than this, but I haven't done any tweaks to this at all. if I'm not mistaken, this had a whole storyline on it also. This was more of a simulator than an arcade thing, so I liked it, but I didn't like it as much as Wing Commander. So let's get out of it here and see if I can get out of the mission here. You are vulnerable. Starflight television is on. Let's see if I can get out of the mission. You can exit to DOS, which is essentially. I was going to do a little bit of the cutscene on it also. But this is, you can get these from all of the major providers there. David Sawyer is here. Thank you for the follow on Amazon. Yeah, maybe let this play out for a second here. Jay is here. Hello, Jay. Let's say hello to some folks while we're waiting for this cutscene to come up here. Eric says, thanks for giving me... That's right. Star Wars is more important than that. Pizza, Pipes, and Pandemonium. You know, I remember that place extremely well. That was like every kid, that was like the big treat to go to Pizza, Pipes, and Pandemonium. And I forgot where it was actually located. And if I remember correctly, it was like a big open hall with a huge pipe organ that would play while you were eating. Is that correct? So I definitely went there a couple of times. I didn't go there as much as some of my friends did. But that was something I distinctly remember as always being the talk around school was Pizza, Pipes, and Pandemonium. Trap exit like, oops, shoot, I just lost my, oh, here we go, hang on.
Sir, our TIE interceptors have located a rebel fleet orbiting the planet Orkana.
Excellent. Prepare the attack. Move our Star Destroyers within range and launch all TIE fighter squadrons.
At once, sir.
Under attack by Imperial Star Destroyers. Begin evasive maneuvers. Launch the X-Wing fighters.
I can't take it. Nice shot, Red Q.
So it looks like they mixed in the Roland audio because it's got that, doesn't have that Sound Blaster kind of sound to it. You know, it's funny is that, think about this, like you've had this 10-year gap in Star Wars games and then this comes out. Great game. Not an arcade game though. So it was not arcadey. It was more flight sim-ish. So that was the deal with that one. All right, so let me just mark my clip on that. So we got our footage there. X-Wing 2. All right, what's next? I'm going down the line here. Now, I liked X-Wing, but this was the deal with X-Wing, was that it wasn't arcadey enough for me, right? I wanted just the shoot stuff. So that brings us to Rebel Assault 1 and 2. Now, 1 we're going to do first. And this was a game that I was disappointed with because it ended up being an on-rail shooter, and I was expecting it to be something a little more than that. Let's just look at the configuration real quick. The max you're going to get out of this, by the way, check this out. 15 frames per second, that's it. Oh, it's hysterical. So let me record this real quick. So just think about like how far we've come. This is the maximum, was 15 frames per second. That's funny. And that's all the sound stuff. Okay. 15 frames per second, everybody. That's it. All right, so let's go and do this next one here. Rebel Assault 1 config. Okay. So we got to center our joystick and press fire. Move to the upper left. Oh, that was the other thing. The joystick calibration on this was a nightmare. It's gotten a lot better now. Now this one I think used digitized audio, so we're probably going to nix the audio here. Let me hear it if it is or not. Yeah, we're going to nix the audio on this one. Yeah, so they actually integrated and so like when they were advertising this game, because so you could download like a little demo thing of it. So this looked like amazing, but all they showed you really were cutscenes and not the actual gameplay. So that was kind of where it ended up. And there's like a whole thing here. So let's go through this and we'll just, I have passcode. Let me see what, because I want to get to like one of the better levels. There's like a, yeah, so there's a Star Destroyer attack, which we're going to go to, because this game took a while to get going, and the controls were so awful that it took a while to actually get into it. So let's go enter passcode. Let me just make one note here. Okay, that was the config, Rebel Assault, title, and then we'll do a little gameplay thing here. So we're going to enter the passcode of, passcode is EN, oops. Ah. My keyboard stopped working here. Just got to use the joystick here. So it's EN. Enter passcode. So which button actually enables the passcode to work? Hit the hit up maybe? All right, that's not doing it. I'm just trying to figure out how to get this to actually engage here. Because the button doesn't seem to enter the passcode in. So I was hoping to avoid having to go through the whole game here. Let's see if we can, maybe I'll quit and go back in and see if that might trigger it to work better. Because like, you played this first level and you were done because it was so hard. Yeah, I'll show you actually what the first level looked like here. And what they did, I think, with this game is that they knew they couldn't port X-Wing to every platform because it was actually pretty intense for its time from a system requirement standpoint. And this was something that could run on everything from the PC to the Sega. This was out for everything. Anything with a CD-ROM drive, this came out for. So it started on the PC, but it eventually came out on the 3DO, on the PlayStation, on the Sega CD. I don't think it came out on the TurboGrafx CD, but it was out for everything else. So this came out like after X-Wing, like right around the same time. You see how awful the controls are? And it's all full motion video. So you're just kind of moving around a sprite on full motion video. And the controls would like whip back and forth. I mean, it was just awful. I mean, it's better now with an Xbox controller, but I think part of the difficulty was just the fact that the controls were so awful that it made it really hard to play. So it was a real letdown because I was hoping for something a little more of an arcade experience, and what it really turned out to be was kind of a quick reaction on rails thing. There was not much to this. All right, let's see if we can get. I want to get that one shot of the. And that happened a lot, by the way. You would constantly hit that wall there. Yeah, it was not on the Turbo Duo. I had to change my thing here because I lost my other thing. I hit the wrong button. Yeah, Rebel. I mean, it looked good. That was the one thing with this game is it did look good. Let me see if I can get out of it real quick. Like this game does not want to relinquish control. Let me kill the emulator. So when you buy these games off of Steam or GOG, you get they integrate a pre-configured DOSBox virtual machine, if you will. I guess DOSBox is technically an emulator, but I think it's more of a virtual machine than anything else. And obviously the timing was a big deal on this too, right? All right, so let's go back in. I just want to see if I can get the Star Destroyer level too. Yeah, so I was really excited about this when I first saw the demo stuff for. Here we go. So we're going to do E. Yeah, because this one I think is like the best level, and it's not saying much here. EN G R E T. And to some degree, you know, like they were limited by the hardware at the time, right? Like you couldn't do more than what you see here. That didn't seem to take, did it? EN G-R-E-T. I'm not sure if it took it or not. Let's see what happens. Nope. Well, yeah, I'm not going to go too much further with this. I'll see if I can find some footage somewhere of that other level, unless this was not the right code. This is the PC version. Oh, here's another one here. Okay, you know what? That was view end sequence. Okay, so there's another set of codes. Oh, these are different difficulty levels. So we'll try a different difficulty level. So we'll try Herglick is the other one. We'll try it one more time, and then we're going to give up. Because we got to move on. We got to get more footage captured here. Let's see if we can figure this out. Yeah, the passcode should be, it's a trap. It's a trap for your money. That is for sure. Let's try this again here, see if we can get this to work. I got a 3X CD-ROM, the Sound Blaster 16. We are in charge. So I wonder if I have to set the difficulty level before we put the passcode in. So game options. Difficulty is normal. Oh, I see. So we were typing in a passcode for the easy difficulty. So if we do normal here, this should get us into the, okay, so let's go back. All right, so we're going to try this other one. H-E-R. H-E-R-G-L. C. Okay. Let's see if it takes that one. If not, I'm giving up. So H-E-R-G-L-I-C. Nope. No go. All right. I'm done with this one. Can only handle so much of this. So we'll do the other game. Now, the second game in the series was a little better, but still not great. But the distinction here is that this one featured live actors. And to my knowledge, this one, oh, we can set the resolution here. Okay, so we're 640 by 480 is the highest resolution. And remember, like at this point, you're still at 15. Oh, you can go higher. Let's see if we can get to 30. 20. 20 is the max now. They bumped you up 5 frames per second. So the difference with this version is that, and this was the big hype about this game. The deal with this one was that they integrated the first live action Star Wars footage since the original trilogy was shot. Because this game came out in 1995. Now, I don't think they have Darth Vader in here, but they have live-action video of X-Wing pilots. And I think a few other things. Because all of the footage in this game is live-action video, if I'm not mistaken. We'll determine that for sure in a second here. Well, some of it isn't. So they didn't get the Stormtrooper outfits to put together. But this was a period of time when like everybody was trying to make the interactive movie and they weren't sure exactly how to make it work, to make a fun game out of it. They certainly had that feel. But remember, like around this time, there was not much Star Wars content. Here you go, see? Live actors. The feat of live actors. But I think this was a big deal. I'm pretty sure that Lucas had some role in part of this. I'm not sure exactly. Maybe Darth Vader was in this one. Okay, they just stole footage from another, yeah. So the costumes are obviously not up to the current production standard, but I just thought it was great just to see that there was some attention by a Lucas licensee to actually shoot new Star Wars footage, because there had been none. This was even before the re-releases. But you know, like, they must have got some of the original props, because they look legit from like Return of the Jedi props, didn't they? Although I'm not sure like those guys are supposed to be wearing those helmets, because they're in X-Wings. Aren't the X-Wing guys supposed to wear like the other ones? So, but hey, you know what? It looked legit enough. They probably shot him on green screen. And that's why we can't have the audio. But I think throughout most of this game, these were all live actors. All right, so now we'll do a quick little gameplay thing here. And again, this one was nothing great either. And this one doesn't seem to like the... And I bought these games like remembering them a little more favorably. See, those are the helmets they should have been wearing. They clearly rated the prop shop for this. But we were dealing with real Star Wars live-action footage for the first time since the original trilogy. I might be actually I'm mistaken because they did do some footage for the Star Tours game, but this was like the most I think that they shot since that. I still have the sound on because they're playing all the Star Wars music. And I'm gonna have to play with the keyboard here, but we'll see how this comes together. Yeah, so here we go. So is the joystick working? No, nothing's working. Oh, it's mouse control right now. Oh my goodness. So it looks a lot better because it's running at a much higher resolution. And it's not like I think it's a little better, but there's the next level. You're in this asteroid field, and it's just awful. But you can see there's not much that you can control here. You can kind of move the star field left and right, but for the most part, you're shooting sprites against a video background. It does look a lot better, though. And it is arcadey, so I guess I probably should have been happy with that. But the good thing is they at least they kind of corrected the issues of the original, and that they put you into like a TIE fighter battle like from the get-go. So I think that there's some redeeming value to that, right? I'm not sure how long this goes on for either here. So I'm not sure why my controller isn't working with this game. But you got to give them credit. They did really good modeling on the spaceships. You know, it was the first time you saw like a B-wing since the original, right? Or at least since Return of the Jedi. And kind of your nameless rebel, or I guess, yeah, there were still rebels in this one. Your nameless rebel pilots. But they definitely spent some time and money on this thing. This is not... The other one, which was only voice acting and animation, this one is live action, costumes, and animation, plus the gameplay. It's a little escape pod there. He wasn't so lucky. But then it goes on to this on-foot thing, and that's where it really falls apart. Because it's not a first-person shooter, so you don't really have the... Doesn't it look like they just took it out of somebody took out of Radio Shack? Oh, they did have stormtroopers. Oh, I guess I was wrong. Yeah, so this is the... This would have been a fun light gun game, wouldn't it? And then put this into contrast with what we're going to take a look at next, okay? So there you go. All right, so we got that done. So now let's put this into the proper context. Let's see if I can get out of this. Control X, Control Q. There we go. Quick game, yes. All right, so I got to find a, yeah, here's a mouse. So the next one that we're going to capture here, I'm going to get my mouse out from under all this. Whoa, almost knocked over something here. Hang on a second, folks. I have to find the other end of this cable. There it is. Okay. Tankers Dave says, yes, the virtual sets. Yeah, if you look at what they're doing with the volume on the Mandalorian, right? It's like totally night and day. Paul Bakewell is here. Hello. Just catching up on messages here. All right, let's put this in place here. Get our mouse attached. So the next one is Dark Forces. Now this came out before Rebel Assault 2. And I think this one might be safe for audio. Yeah. And they all start with a crawl in this time period, right? Because you have to, it's Star Wars. And what's nice here too is that my Steam syncs, even these old DOS games, it syncs up everything. All right, let's see how we can, yeah. All right, hang on a second here. I'm gonna put my audio off for a second. So that was, this is Dark Forces. And this came out right after Doom did. So this was like 90, this was 95. This was 95. And it was a total Doom ripoff, but it was a good one. So that's why it was successful, because it was really well done. And Rob had this on the PS1. Ryan wants to know, when are Steam Decks going to be out for review? I'm not sure. I don't think I'll get one. I don't think I'm on their radar, but I did order one, so hopefully when everybody gets one, I'll get mine. Mark Dell played through Dark Forces 2. And yeah, they were not, I may maybe do a motion sickness warning when I do do the video. And yeah, it was out for the Mac too, right? It was available on a lot of different platforms. Yeah. I love Duke Nukem. That was another great game. Okay, so what's left on my list here? So now we're going to move over to the Nintendo 64. By the way, I know I own all of these games, in case you're wondering, why are you emulating it? Because it's easier to capture it. So let's go. I don't think I have a core installed. So let me go and get that core going first. Oops. I'm pretty sure I put the file in there. Let's double check that. Yeah, I'll pull it up in a second. Let's go back to RetroArch. Yeah, this is RetroArch, and I think this is, it has become the best way if you're looking to emulate. This is the best way to emulate. And let's just go down to, but I definitely own this game. I've got it in my closet over there. But again, it's easier to do it in one place here versus hooking up like a million different consoles and futzing around with all that garbage. Okay, so that's installed. So now we're going to go back. I think my controller is not plugged in. I wonder why it's not working. Plug my controller in. Let's see if I can load that content now. There it is. Okay. So this is Shadows of the Empire, which came out on the Nintendo 64. This was a launch title, or it came out like right around that time? And I can't remember what the audio was on this one. Yeah, we're going to leave the audio off. Okay. So we'll just start a quick game here. This is another one that I think started off really well because they dropped you right into the Hoth level. And this looked great for its time because remember, like when this came out, few people had PCs with, with 3D accelerators on them. See the detail, even like the detail of the ship? You can jump into the cockpit. That was awesome. How do I get out of the cockpit? There we go. I'm pretty good at this still, aren't I? But I think this more than anything, I think really kind of showcased what the Nintendo 64 was capable of. And I forgot how to do the harpoon. Fire tow cable. How do we fire the tow cable? There we go. Oh, too far, too far, too far, too far, too far. I just bought it on that thing, didn't I? All right, that one was Shadows of the Empire on the Nintendo 64. That was a good one. Okay. All right, so we're getting there. We're almost done. Okay. Now the next one, this one, we got two more left here. This one is going to disappoint a lot of you because it is so basic. And Mark Dells, this was the first in, yes, this was the first. And then they had another one that wasn't as good. It was all like ground-based stuff, but I had it on the PC. And yeah, this game was like 8 megabytes. It's like there's no space at all on it. But for sure, very impressive. But yeah, it looked great. I love the detail on the speeders. So I really like that one a lot. Now, I'm going to be missing a lot of, when I do this video, you're going to be very disappointed that it's not going to be like all the great games, because I haven't played all the great games. So what I was doing with this one is just kind of covering the things that I played the most. And actually, there's more that I already have footage for that will be incorporated in this. Now, for this one, I've got to load up a virtual machine. I've got to boot up Windows 98 to make this work. So I actually have this Windows 98 virtual machine that I pass around my house, because I've got a bunch of old stuff that I like to get at every once in a while, and I like to get at it on my PC. So I've got it running here in a VM. So we'll just, here's the great Windows security. You just hit cancel and you get in. So here, let me pull up the screen here. So this is running in VMware. And this is called Yoda Stories. And this is it. I mean, it is like I said, it's super basic. Here, let me get out of this real quick here. But here's what's neat about this game. I have a game that I saved here. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So let me zoom in on this screen a little bit. I think that'll help. This is as big as it gets, by the way. It's this tiny little window. And what this was designed for, or designed as, was going to be this, it is a procedurally generated adventure game, very simple graphics, and it was designed to be run in the background of like what your standard PC was back in the late 90s. So what's interesting about it here, let me turn my lightsaber on here. So it's neat about, and there's sound also, but I don't have the sound on right now. It looks super stupid, but it was kind of a fun little thing because you could have this running like you would run solitaire or something in the background. And you know, back when this game was released, you couldn't really have something that robust running as a background task. And this could kind of sit as a window like solitaire would. And it was priced at around like what a Game Boy game would cost. And I believe it or not, I put more time into this than you believe, partly because every time you played, the levels were procedurally generated. Like the entire game was different every time. But again, more of a solitaire-like experience. Here, I'll do a reset here. Let's do... So like when you start, you get you take R2-D2 and you put him in your inventory, and you got to go find Yoda's little house, and he gives you some guidance. So, you know, stupid little game, but I liked it. So there you go. Yeah, is it roguelike? That's a good one, Mark. It is kind of roguelike, I guess, but I don't think you retained your inventory between levels. So, but yeah, this was on the Game Boy. I have that somewhere. I'll have to see if I can play it. It's a great game for the Game Boy because it fit that puzzle motif for quite a while. And yes, it is Yoda Stories, but you play as Luke. And Mark Dell played a lot of it too. Awesome. So that is Yoda Stories. And let's see, what else do I have that I haven't captured? Okay, the last one. This one's awesome. I spent a lot of time on this morning getting this to work. But that effort has borne fruits. So let me shut down my VM here. And the next and last that I'll do today, because I'm going to run out, I have others that will be part of this video, so that is why you should tune into it. So we're going to load up, and I have this game, so we're emulating, but I own this, okay? So no complaints about that. All right, so let's load up Dolphin here, and we're going to open. Let's see if the save game is still intact here. We may have a little bit of a kerfuffle with the save game. Let's see. So this is, you know what this is. Although it just froze on me. There it goes. Now this is the GameCube Rogue Squadron 2, which I maintain is still the best Star Wars space fighter game. Because this game, to this day, 20 years later, it is still everything that I wanted out of a Star Wars game. Al Bartko is following now on. Now this, you'll see there's an HD on there. So what happened is that, let's get into the game here. What happened is that, now, the Death Star attack everyone has seen. I think I want to do, there's one where you go after like the Star Destroyer, which I thought was a cool level. I can't remember which one it was though. Prisoners of the Maw, maybe it was that one? Yes, the Ice and Corn, let's see. There's so many to choose from, I don't know where to start. Let's do this one. So what they did with this game, we'll try a couple different levels, is that they made it an arcade experience, right? And the other thing they did with it is it has you playing in all of like the major space battles of the original trilogy are covered here. So that was like the knock against Squadrons, because it added a lot of cool VR stuff, but it doesn't have any of like the familiar movie scenes. And I was hoping that they would do like a recreation of that, like as a DLC, because I would gladly pay for that. Now, what I am doing with this emulator is I'm running with the HD texture pack, which is why it said HD when we first loaded it up. So this looks a little nicer than the original game on the GameCube would look, but it's still the same game. And it'll go back to a 4:3 here for this. Now I can't remember, this might not be the level I wanted to play. But you can jump into the cockpit here. Isn't that cool? Yeah, I think I might choose the other level here in a second. Look how nice that looks in HD. And I'm running this on my gaming laptop, and I still have some juice in the because my fans are not even running right now, and this is using the GPU. So we could probably beef the graphics up a bit more. All right, so here we go. So the problem is I don't have the music on because the music is copyrighted. Because they played the original Star Wars music. All right, where are those TIE fighters? They're supposed to be like right in front of me here. There they are. They're behind me. And they would do this thing where they pull the camera back on you, so if you had one on your tail, you could avoid them, which I thought was a nice touch, right? And this game also proved to be one of the most technologically challenging games on the GameCube because they did some off-the-books kind of hardware hacks to make this run faster and run with better graphical clarity. Like I said, I think I'm going to go to a different mission. There was one mission that I thought was awesome because you had to go after a Star Destroyer. It was really cool. Look how cool those graphics look, though. And again, we're running with that HD texture pack, which makes things look a lot nicer. But that's how good this game is. Like, it is still good. Oh, I don't want to shoot him. All right, let me go back to one of the other missions here. This looks a little more representative of what I'm trying to reach here. Sam says, I wonder if you can copyright the sound of no sound. Yeah, I'm sure they would find a way to do that, wouldn't they? Here, let's do this one. This one might be a good one. The Ison Corridor Ambush. Ooh, I had not played Rogue Squadron 3, Mark Dell. So you're saying this has this game in it? Huh. And what is that available on? I'll have to check that one out. So you know what's funny with the GameCube? This is why I bought a GameCube. So the GameCube and the Xbox came out like the same week. And the GameCube had this, and that's why I bought a GameCube. And I'll tell you what, like I played nothing but this for quite a while. Let's see, I'm not sure what's going on. This must be a cutscene. Yeah, here you go. You got the whole Rebel fleet coming in. Look how awesome that looks. So what I would love the Squadrons people to do is make this game in their game, you know? Because they have all the models. They could totally do this. It would be awesome. Look how cool that looks. Oops. I'm trying to look cool like what they do in the movies. All right, so now we got TIE fighters coming in, so we got to take these guys out. So let's go grab these. I'm not as good at this game as I remember being. And one thing, too, when you're emulating this is that it will run lousy when you first start playing for the first 20 minutes or so because it's got to build out all the shaders again. And then it'll smooth out, and you'll get like super silky smooth gameplay like we got here. And they have a whole blog post or a series of them about all the different things that they had to do to get this game to work because it was running with some crazy off-the-books kind of hardware hacks to make it happen. This is awesome. We can jump into the cockpit here too. And Squadrons is funny because it's kind of like everything. They took what was great about X-Wing and they took what was great about this game and made it into a VR experience, which I think has been awesome. But again, like I just want some more of this like classic Star Wars space battle scenario stuff. They've got some of it, but it's all new. Like I want to just do the old stuff. But yeah, this game, especially like on a CRT, was pretty amazing. I had a CRT HD TV when this came out. All right, so we're going to stop that, and then we'll do the Death Star one because they have, of course, they have a Death Star mission. I never liked like make this thing survive stuff, like you know what I'm talking about. All right, so this is going to be Rogue. You know, we'll capture one of the, oh, this is it. This is the Razor Rendezvous. That's the one I wanted to show. So let's do that one too. Yeah, every one of these levels, to Zam's point, was a real work of art in this game. And speaking of, you know, the DOS games we looked at earlier were all, a lot of the art was hand-drawn in those games. And you can pick which fighter you want to go in. But I'm always the X-Wing guy. I just like the X-Wing is my jam, as they say. Here, I'll show you, I'll do some footage of him walking around. So you can choose any one of these, depending on the mission, you can choose any one of these fighters. But we're going to jump into the X-Wing. And that's what killed me when we got into the whole issue of, why can't I get in this? There we go. When we got into the whole issue of the VR stuff. Oh. I guess I'm not supposed to use that one. Death Star attack, Icing Corridor ambush. Is that the one I just selected? I can't remember now. Razor Rendezvous, that's it. Okay. Oh, I see. I can't use the X-Wing on that one. But we can do like a TIE fighter. You can fly in a TIE fighter, or you can do whatever. So, Eric Bazinga, yes, in fact, that will be part of the that'll be part of the game, of the video that I'm doing. Will be the battle pod. I have some footage of me playing that in Vegas. So I guess I can't fly that. I guess we can do the Y-wing. They want me to fly the B-wing, I think. And I was watching something last night. I got to play with this. People have been emulating BattlePod on the Oculus. And BattlePod is like kind of the spiritual successor to the Atari arcade game. Look how good that looks. This is all in-game renders here. This is not video. And granted, this is with the HD textures, but this is what I remembered it looking like on my, you know, when it was a 480p game. Yeah, this is it. So you got to go after the Star Destroyer. You got to knock down its shields. Like, look how awesome this looks. And you get a real sense of the size of it. So you got to knock out the guns here first. Those are ion guns right there. Those will disable your ship. And you got to go up to the shield generator up here at the top. And you can also do like your get your B-wing back to. Isn't this awesome? Ooh, they got me. And you can command your wing people to do stuff too. All right, some good footage there. And I think what we'll do is we'll do one other one just to show. So they have the Battle of Endor, and then, so you actually kill both Death Stars in this one. So and I have yet to finish the game. So I got this save game file that I downloaded to get me a little bit further ahead here. But this one they did awesome. So here, check this level out. But every level was great in this. That's what I mean. Like, this is the ultimate starfighter game, and Squadrons can be this good if they were just to take what worked in this game and just make Squadrons DLC with just that. It'd be like you wouldn't need another game ever again. So right now what it's doing is it's the first time I've played this level, so it's a little bit. So you got to follow the Millennium Falcon. And you got to keep the fighters off of them. And you can't shoot him either because you get dinged for that. Ooh, yeah, see? So it's hard just to even get into the tunnel. Let's try that again. See how it's running better now? I had to draw the shaders for that level, and now it's done. But this was hard. You got to really, like, you know, they make you work for it. If I can change the difficulty, make it easier. I was trying to get the shot of going into the. Auto switch enemy camera on auto roll. Yeah. Okay, it's not. Continue. They really beat you up here pretty good. And you got to keep up with them because you can't be too close. Because if you're too close, then you can't get behind these guys. And for some reason, they're going after him only. But yeah, this level is ridiculously hard. Here we go, here we go. Can I live this long? Can I get there? Yeah, there we go. And then it gets even more ridiculous because now you're like flying into the this will take a little bit to get rendered here. Can we turn the music off in the settings? Let's see, game settings. I might be able to turn the music off. Oh, sound settings. Yeah, maybe we can turn, okay, maybe I'll turn the music volume down. Here, I'll turn the music volume down and leave everything else on. How's that? Let's see how that sounds. All right. How's that? Is that better? Oop.
Now lock onto the strongest power source. It should be the power generator. Careful, Wedge. We can run out of room real fast.
So I think I was able to get to the reactor. Ooh. But not I couldn't get out because then, like, after you get the reactor, then it gets you. And then here's the real knock. Is that you got to start the level all over from the beginning again. So it's brutal. It is brutal. Brutal, 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 brutal. But yeah, all right, maybe we'll try it one more time. I'll just give it one more shot, and we'll see if we can get to the reactor, and then I got to go. Because it is lunchtime. I promised my family I would do some lunch stuff with them. Oh, they have like a whole little bonus level there, too. All right, let's see, let's try. They have like a couple of bonus levels.
A raid against the rebel base on the Yavin Moon. He wishes for you to lead the assault and remind them of the might of the Empire.
That's awesome. So it looks like I can beat the Millennium Falcon here, too. So I think X-Wing Alliance, if you have that one, which I do, you can install that HD upgrade for that one. Because they just came, there's a group that did an HD upgrade for that.
Watch yourself, Lando. TIE fighters at .06. Cover me, Wick.
They throw the book at you here. I mean, they got like guns shooting at you. They got the TIE fighters all over the place. I'm already like getting destroyed here. And if you hold your shot, like if you're not shooting continuously, you have a more powerful shot. So like all 4 of your guns fire at the same time. See that? Granted, the TIE fighters have no shielding, so you can. Ooh, see, that was not fair. Not fair. They hit me. Brutal. Brutal, 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 brutal. All right, let's see. One more time. One more time. I've been stuck on this level for 20 years. It's not going to get any better. I just think it looks awesome, though. So can you imagine if they could do the VR version of this? They could totally do that with the squadrons.
TIE fighters at .06. Cover me, Wick.
All right, we're going for it here. I will say they really do kill the Millennium Falcon in an awesome way. Right? All right, we're going to do it one more time, then I got to go. See, I think that's correct. That you know, like it should be against the rules to ram into my X-Wing with a TIE fighter. That's my take on this.
Watch yourself, Lando. TIE fighters at .06.
Yeah, so half the time I'm just trying to get to the exhaust shaft there. Unless there's a trick, maybe I got to stay at a higher altitude. Then they're not hitting me. It's almost like you got to die once without the Millennium Falcon dying, but yeah. So, but you all saw it. You got to feel for it. It's good stuff. And the HD remake is awesome. But again, I think they could make it better if they took, like Squadrons could be made better if they took it and moved it over there. So, all right. Exactly. I think it's great that it's got its own story. I would pay the same amount of money for the DLC as the original game if it had more. That's my take. Okay. I got to run, but I just wanted to show some of that, and I'm going to be doing more with this tomorrow on the wrap-up. So tomorrow's wrap-up is going to be about a bunch of the games that we just played, but a bunch more that I have footage of already. So that is, that's the scoop. So, yep, that's it. So I will be back again before you know it, and I appreciate you all spending some time with me on this Sunday morning. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.